Good morning. I'm Tristan Winder in the News 2 streaming studio at the Morning Pulse here on this Tuesday, May 20th. A weather system responsible for powerful tornadoes and dangerous supercell storms moving east today. Forecasters say that the Mid-South is the epicenter with risks of surrounding states. They predict a chance of more thunderstorms, with forecasters saying that other risks today include flash flooding, strong tornadoes, and even very large hail. That includes some areas that are still recovering after roughly 100 reported tornadoes tore through the central and eastern U.S. in recent days. Definitely a large portion of Kentucky impacted by that. You're seeing some of that on your screen here. And then here in Nebraska, looks like we're going to be safe of that. We did have severe weather in the area yesterday, but primarily that remained over in eastern Nebraska. More on that later today here at News 2. Continuing coverage of the Secretary of Agriculture in the state of Nebraska, getting a up-close look at the ag industry here in The Good Life. She was joined by the governor and Blair and Fremont for tours of a bioscience complex. They also held a roundtable discussion with local producers, also revealing a list of USDA initiatives meant to help small-time farmers. Streamlining access to federal resources and introducing more state grants for extensive and expensive equipment.
This is the first step of many steps we will be taking, but we realize that the window of opportunity to really bring true prosperity, to save our family farms, and to put agriculture first out into the world, every day is one less day we have to do all of those things.
My hope is that this is not just lip service again. You know, we want to see real changes. I think everyone does. Hopefully some of these things that they put down the packet are going to do that.
That's producer Lucas Fricke, and before that, of course, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins. And according to the USDA, over 80% of farms in the country are small family farms. In other statewide news today, state lawmakers are in the home stretch for the 2025 legislative session, and some major proposals are still up in the air. According to the Nebraska Examiner, the state's 49 senators, committee chairs, and speakers have designated 106 bills as priority bills, 17 of which have been signed into law. 56 are somewhere in the 3 rounds of debate, and several have already failed. Governor Pillen is expected to sign multiple bills into law this week, including LB 246, which bans the production, distribution, promotion, and sale of lab-grown meat. In other legislative news today, and also happening today, debate is scheduled for a bill to regulate medical marijuana in Nebraska. Earlier this month, it took some compromises on the bill to advance it. One hang-up stemmed from whether it would allow cannabis flowers. But a compromise was made to allow up to 2 ounces, but it can only be vaporized and not smoked. The compromise also keeps PTSD off the list of qualifying conditions. Remember, an overwhelming 71% of Nebraska voters support medical marijuana in the November election. State lawmakers are just now discussing how it will be governed and distributed potentially within the state of Nebraska. And for the projected 39.4 million Americans expected to hit the road for this Memorial Day weekend that's quickly approaching, filling up for the trip is going to be cheap. According to Gas Buddy, the average price for a gallon of gas is expected to be $3.08, the lowest price this time of the year and lowest since 2021, and way lower than what we saw 3 years ago when it was $4.60. Here in Nebraska, gas prices are down about 30 cents since the same time last year, averaging $2.98 a gallon, according to AAA. In other national news today, what's in Capital One's wallet? Well, 425 million fewer dollars. That's the amount that the bank has agreed to pay in a multi-state settlement with different individuals. They say that they were falsely promised and increased interest rates on 360 savings accounts. The suit claimed that the account had a fixed rate of 0.3% while not being told about a different higher yield account with better rates. Lastly today, keeping cool could cost more this summer. A new analysis finds that Americans can expect to shell out a record $748 on average to cool their homes just from June through September. That's up more than 4% from the same time period last year and 14% higher than 2020. The National Energy Assistants and Directors Association cites 2 reasons for higher costs coming as electricity prices are rising faster than inflation, and another hot summer is on tap. The group says that more than 21 million Americans, or about 1 in 6, are behind on their energy bills. And I think the thing that I find most concerning is they're anticipating it's going to cost $748 on average to cool homes from June through September. But here in Nebraska, there's been a couple of days where I hate to admit it, but I've turned my AC on. Now, I can hold out a little bit longer when it comes to turning the heat on, but when it comes to turning the AC on, I don't know. We start to get into the 80s, and I'm sorry, I'm turning that thing on. It only handles so much. Rounding out the morning pulse here on this Tuesday, May 20th, with a check of the 7-day forecast. Similar temperatures today to what we experienced yesterday. It was a bit of a brisk, cool, breezy morning. 65 the high today as the breeze has died down a little bit, at least gotten a little bit warmer here in the past several hours. Upper 60s for us tomorrow, continuing to rise on Thursday and into Friday. But then when we hit Friday and into the weekend, we do have chance of storm activity that could potentially be severe.